No, I didn't attack him like a bulldog. Very gracious to use my words. Hence, I'm going on to level 2 to learn how to use my words. Our speaker tonight is the Director of Issue Analysis for Government and Public Policy at the American Family Association, where he provides expertise on a range of public policy topics. He is described by the New York Times as a talk radio natural. He hosts Focal Point, which is a radio program on AFR Talk, which airs live on weekdays from 1 to 3 Central Time on American Family Radio, nationwide talk network of 125 stations. He is a graduate of Stanford University at Dallas Theological Seminary. He pastored in Idaho for 25 years, during which time he served for one session as the chaplain of the Idaho State Senate. He founded the Idaho Values Alliance in 2005, and he is co-author of the Idaho's Marriage Amendment, and he has been with AFA since 2009. In his role as a spokesman for the AFA, he has been featured on media outlets such as Fox News, ABC, CBS News, NBC, CNN, and the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the BBC, the Russia Today television, and the Associated Press, and he has been a frequent guest on talk radio to discuss cultural and religious issues. He has been profiled in publications such as the New York Times, Newsweek, the New Yorker, the BuzzFeed, and on Channel 4 in the UK, Australian TV, and Swiss TV. He has been married to his beautiful bride, Debbie, who I get to have dinner with and just enjoy them. Since 1976, they have 2 grown children. He drives all the way from Tupelo, Mississippi today, just to come and talk with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Fisher.
Well, thank you. It's great to have an opportunity to spend a few minutes with you, and I just appreciate the emphasis on local government from what I have heard, because that fits with the vision of the Founding Fathers. James Madison in the Federalist paper said, look, if you look at our Constitution, the powers of action that are given to the central government are few and defined. That was his term. Few powers of action given to the central government, and they are defined. In other words, they're limited. And the powers that are assigned to the states under the Constitution are numerous and indefinite. So as far as the founders were concerned, they were drawing some very careful limits around the powers of action of the central government and leaving virtually everything else up to the states, so that the responsibility to protect the lives, the liberty, and the property of the individual citizens was primarily going to rest with local and state government. And of course, we're a long way from that proper balance today, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk with you a little bit about tonight. I heard a story about God creating everything, and it's a little different than the biblical accounts. You'll have to excuse me for taking some liberties here. But the first day, God creates the dog. And he says to the dog, what I want you to do is I want you to sit on the front porch, and I want you to bark. And if you do that, I'll give you a lifespan of 20 years. And the dog said, man, that seems like a long time. How about if I give you back 10 years to get to work? The second day, God creates the monkey. And he says, now what I want you to do is I want you to do tricks and entertain people and make them laugh, and I'll give you 10 years to do it. And the monkey said, man, doing tricks for 20 years, that sounds like a long time. How about if I give you 10 years back like the dog did? God says, okay, that's right. Then he creates the cow on the third day, and he says to the cow, what I want you to do is I want you to go out into the field and labor under the hot sun, working with the farmer. I want you to have cows. I want you to plow the field. I want you to get milk to support the farmer. And if you do that, I'll give you a lifespan of 60 years. And the cow said, man, that is brutal. How about if I give you back 40 and keep winning? God says, that's okay. So fourth day, God creates man. And he says, what I want you to do is I want you to eat. I want you to sleep. I want you to play. I want you to get married, and I want you to enjoy your life. And if you do that, I'll give you 20 years. And the man says, what, only 20 years? He says, how about if you give me the 10 years that the dog gave back to you, and the 10 years that the monkey gave back to you, and the 40 years that the cow gave back to you? That'd make 80 years. And God says, okay, that's the deal. So that's the reason for the first 20 years of our life, we eat, we sleep, we play, we enjoy ourselves. next 40 years of our lives, we slave in the hot sun, support our families. And then for the 10 years after that, we do stupid monkey tricks to entertain our grandchildren. And then for the last 10 years of our life, we sit on the porch and bark at everybody. So I just want to alert you that I'm getting close to the barking stage. So